All right, well, we're here with Jan Milton, and he's with Operation Renewed Hope. And we wanted to give him a chance to talk. I know he sends his update letters and things to the church, but we haven't had a chance to see him in person. But this is the next best thing. And so, Jan, I wanted to take a minute, if I could, and just ask you, because there's some people that have joined our church that may be new to Operation Renewed Hope. They're not sure exactly what the ministry is. Do you mind explaining a little bit about what the ministry is and how you guys get involved?
Our ministry is based in several concepts. First of all, we want to get the gospel to every human being. We have three purpose statements, or mission statements, as they would be called. One, preach the gospel always. And number two, relieve suffering always. And number three, provide an avenue for people to go into full-time or part-time missions through medical. And so those have been our three purposes. We started, this is 31 years now that we have been doing this. Your church has been with us many of those years. Brother Mortensen was one of the, he was just so kind to me. And my son knew his son, and, you know, it worked out well that we got to meet. And I did a presentation in one of your missions conferences, and the church took our work on. And so we're very thankful. Some of the things that we do medical clinics. We just finished Albania. We just finished Peru, Cambodia. We'll be in Kosovo. Then we move to Bolivia. And then from Bolivia, we go to Uganda. And we take Americans, mix them with all of the different country nationals, and usually we'll have 60 to 70 people per clinic. Out of those clinics come churches, and I'll tell you a couple of those churches today. But then we do disaster relief, which you are familiar with. We're working so many countries right now until disaster is all over the world, you know, right now. Then we do youth boot camps, training kids to go on medical. We have just so many different things that we do, and we've worked in over 45 nations.
That's awesome. Well, could you tell us maybe a little bit? I know a lot of people are interested in Ukraine right now, and I think you guys have had some stuff going on there, and also in Turkey with the earthquake that took place. Is that correct? Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there and how you guys are involved?
Yes, about a year ago, you know, a little over a year ago, I guess it was, Russia invaded. We had been working in Ukraine before that. We had done medical clinics there. We had invested in missionaries there, working with them. And immediately they contacted us at the invasion. We had been keeping track of it anyway, because we knew we were going to have to do something. Right now we're working with 3 different groups there. We're working with one group, Derek Thomas. He was in charge of Slavic Baptist Institute, and he has done marvelous work there. Then we're working with Sam Slobodian with Baptist International Evangelistic Ministries. He's up in Indiana. And he has churches all over the Slavic nations. And so we've been working there. In fact, I was there a little bit, you know, after the invasion began. In fact, we got bombed while we were there. And then we're working with Final Frontier Missions through Oleg and Lori Insky. Oleg is native Ukrainian. And so we have done food distribution. Right now, like I just got an email from Lori and Oleg that over 800 people on one weekend heard the gospel as the food trucks rolled into 3 different regions, trying to help the people with food. It's pretty difficult out there right now in those areas that are more prone to attack. We just shipped or just sent $5,000 to Brother Slobodian to go to a hospital in Ternopil. They are helping to repair the bone structure of people who have been impacted by strong weapons, bombs, so on and so forth. We lost some people. I was with Brother Thomas, and he, in his Bible Institute there, it was in Kiev. The students were going and giving food, and 4 of the students were killed when an artillery shell landed too close to their truck while they were passing out the food, and all 4 of them were killed. These people are very serious over there, and because they have to be, this is their country, but they are giving the gospel and people are listening. So I couldn't even, it'd take me 2 hours to tell you all of the individual things that have been so wonderful that have occurred as a result of being involved with these 3 different groups of good, solid churches.
Oh, wow. And were you there in Turkey with the earthquakes too? You had a group over there?
I have not been to Turkey yet. We have, for years, we've been working with people in Syria.
Okay.
So the first thing we did was we contacted Brother Karim Dada, and he pastors Gospel Baptist Church in Zaleh, Lebanon. Now, we have been supporting Syrian refugees through his church. They come to his church, they sit and listen to the gospel. They're very faithful. And during the cold months, we try to buy fuel oil because they're intense. They're not well accepted necessarily by the Lebanese, although, and you can't blame them for that because the jobs are so difficult to get there. So we try to supply fuel oil. We supply boots and coats for the kids. And he's had several receive the Lord. So we contacted him, and he has gone over into Syria. In fact, he just returned from Syria last night. We sent money with him, and he was able to help 3 churches. 2 of them were in the event and collapsed. One is down in Damascus, and the reason we're working with the Damascus church, even though it wasn't in the event, is because they can continue to go up into the area because they're not hurt and they're pastors. We contacted one group that we've known with Final Frontier, and the pastor there could not, he said, I just lost my leadership. He said 2 of my main pastors, their churches collapsed, their homes collapsed, and they were in the debris, and they died. And he said, I can't do anything because I've got to get the structure rebuilt so that our churches can. And I appreciate that. We'll probably send him a little bit of money a little bit later. Money's a big issue over there. The collapse of Lebanon's economy has collapsed. Syria's economy is in serious trouble. Then in the Ukraine, in Turkey, this is so wonderful. One of the churches in Ukraine led a man to the Lord. And this happens to be one of the churches of Sam Slobodian, with Baptist International Evangelistic Ministries. And he was a special forces soldier from Ukraine, led him to Christ. His time was up. This, happened before the war. And so he surrendered to go to Turkey to be a missionary to the Slavic people over in Turkey. Turkey has a very wide group of people, just like the United States does. So he started a church over there. We were able to contact him, and now he is going down into the destruction zones and just doing a wonderful job. We've sent money to him. We require them to return receipts, or we don't send any more money. That way we know our money's being used properly. And then we require that they write reports and send pictures. And so he has been very faithful to do that. So is Brother Dada. In fact, my phone's so full of stuff, I don't know what I'm going to do. It'll take me 2 days to get stuff off the phone. We also have 2 other people that we think we're going to be able to work with. One is in Beirut, Lebanon, who is willing to go over into Syria and work. And then we have a very unusual situation. There is a group, there are Korean missionaries over in Turkey. And right now, Afghanistans are fleeing. If they're Christians, they're fleeing Afghanistan. And so this Korean pastor over there is working with all these families that are coming into Turkey. And so we have sent money there for that pastor. We have about 25 families we're working with over there who are church-going people that love the Lord, but they're refugees. And so we're going to be able to give them $100 each to, kind of stabilize them. And then we're hoping to raise another bit of money and send another $100 each to each family, and do that as many times as we can, to help these families and to help this wonderful pastor over there who's doing a great job. I mean, it's just marvelous. So that's what's happening in Turkey, that Syria. That work is just blossoming right now.
You have any work going on in the States anywhere?
Yes. Oh, brother, I tell you, we were laughing at the kind of planning meeting. We do our planning just like you're doing right here. We don't own a building, so all of our people work out of their house. Well, we have to have Zoom meetings to get everybody together like a staff meeting. And we were just laughing the other day. We need at least 3 or 4 more people right now because there's 3 of us trying to coordinate all of these works. And we're working in Florida, obviously, with Hurricane Ian still. As a matter of fact, we just sent money to 3 churches there that were very badly damaged. And we've been sending food, water, and we're still working there. Then we're still working in Kentucky with the flooding up there. That was very, very bad. And we've got one church up there in particular. Now, we've worked with others, but this brother, the flooding just took away. He had a camp. He had worked so hard for all of this. I mean, he's a hardworking pastor. And so we've been able to reestablish his camp with him. We've been able to, one of his buildings actually floated away. And he went and got the building and brought it back. I mean, it was several feet away from where it had been. And he brought it back. His outdoor church was, I mean, just destroyed. We've been able to get that reestablished. So that, you know, that's still going on right now. We're working on some fencing for the church right now to help. And we're working in Palestine, Ohio, where the train derailed.
Right.
There was so little done for the people. I'm not trying to find fault with anybody. What we do is difficult work, and even for the federal government, believe me. Now, I think they should have been there. This was more than just a couple of train cars off the track, and you know, you bring in a heavy crane, lift them up, put them back on, and the choo-choo go down the road. You know, that was nothing like that. This was a major chemical spill. People have been disrupted from their homes. Water is contaminated. I don't know. I saw a video the other day that was produced, and a man took a stick and put it in a little creek and scratched the bottom of the creek, and up came the chemicals. The water is completely polluted there. I don't know. I don't know how that town's going to make it without some assistance. And now the federal government has declared it, I think, a disaster zone. But we're in there giving out water right now so that people can have fresh water. We just sent a truckload in, and there's several churches in there, and our people are trying to work with it. We just have so many people that help us all over the world. And these people, we call on them, they have their own organizations, but all of us together make a pretty mighty army. You know, we've got Hearts with Hands down in Asheville. We've got Nehemiah's Network up in Ohio, Anchor Baptist Mission in Mount Pisgah. We just got organizations all over, and we join with them. And so that has, you know, helped us to reach all these people.
Well, let me ask you one more question as we conclude here.
Okay.
That is, what can our church, what are some things that we can do? Can we, I know we can pray. I know we support the ministry, but is there a way for maybe people that have medical training to be able to go on one of your trips, or a website they can go to different needs maybe they want to give some extra money to?
We need as many travelers as we can get. We have to have 160 people a year to travel with us. So that means that if they've never put a Band-Aid on themselves, they can still go. We need them, okay? We need doctors, nurses, dentists, nurse practitioners, PAs, everything you can think of, okay? These trips lead to, the last trip into Cambodia, we had 1,000 patients in 4 days. People were saved. The church we were working at in Cambodia wrote us and said the very next Sunday church attendance was way up. You know, so we desperately need that. Second thing that we really need right now is we need your prayers about all of the disasters that we're working. Those things are very, very difficult for us. They're expensive, but there are so many Christians in these disaster areas. So, you know, pray very hard about that. Then I'd like for you to pray for our churches. First of all, our church in Ghana. Last year, we did a clinic in Ghana, and we had 2 villages that we worked with in the bush. One of those churches developed one of those villages developed into a full-blown church. In fact, I just received an email this morning. They have purchased the land for the church, and they are grading the land right now, and they're going to build a pole barn type building. We were able to supply them with $4,500. The property was $1,000. the building materials were about 1,500 to 2,000. And so they're on their way, and the congregation is so excited. Now we'll build the pole barn or provide the money. They have to build it. And if they want it closed in, they have to do that themselves. That's their church, you know. And then also, we have a church in Peru. Now, this is a blessed little place. I tell you, years ago, we took a trip into Peru. In fact, we stayed at your church first time we did it. And this little church is in the jungle. Now, if you can imagine going from Cusco, which is 13,000 feet into the air, all the way down to 900 feet. That's what our team had to do. We've done it several times. The little town is called Pilcopada, and the name of the church is Pilcopada Baptist Church. And this brother and his wife have been at that church since the clinic that we did there. And they have built this church up. We send them about $250 a month. We support several pastors, you know, that are working with what we're doing. But I got a picture, in fact, I just got it, of their group singing as a choir to their church. The church is growing. It's just a wonderful blessing to see that. You know, we just have churches all over. In Haiti, Hosanna Baptist Church. We just sent a shipload of food there. Just God's doing great things. Not, you know, we don't see so many people being saved here. I think we've kind of gotten discouraged, and so we don't give the gospel as much as we used to. But I tell you what, brother, people are being saved all over this world. It's amazing. There is a harvest that is just unbelievable as God works in the world.
Well, we thank the Lord for Operation Renewed Hope, and we praise the Lord for your heart for not just this country, but the world. And God is doing some great things through Operation Renewed Hope. And I wanted to say thank you for just taking some time out of your busy schedule to spend some time with our church. And we've been praying for you guys, and we want to keep the prayers coming. And if there's ever anything you need, you know, you can count on First Baptist Church of Westwood Lakes for sure.
You've always been so faithful, and we consider you close laborers in the Lord.
Definitely. Hand in hand, for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.